Yo, what up YouTube? It's Bryce. Going to be doing a deck profile today on my newest deck idea. It's Penguin Heroes, so I guess let's go. First off, we have 2 Penguin Soldier, not only because he's a monster, and by monster I don't mean a monster card, I mean he slaps. I return 2 monsters to the hand, it's pretty good. He's also a target for this guy right here, the Great Emperor Penguin. What this guy does is he's a bunny. You tribute the card and you special summon 2 penguin monsters from your deck. So yeah. So he can get anything but himself. And then we have 2 flying penguin. This card's not very good, but it is definitely trollsy. And it is a target for Emperor Penguin as well, obviously. We have then 3 Nightmare Penguin. This is another target for Emperor Penguin. But it's also another card that's good on its own. Not only does it give all water monsters 200 attack, which is a random, I guess, beneficial effect, but it also has that 1800 ass, and it returns 1 monster to the hand. So in this deck, between your little penguins and actual compulses, you run a lot of compulses. Plus this card can actually tank an attack, and then you can hard summon into a rank 4 Xyz, or 3 if you have Legendary Ocean. Anyway, on to the non-penguins. We have 3 Warrior of Atlantis. 1900 beater that is like a Gravekeeper's Commandant for Legendary Ocean, so it grabs that for you. Or you can make Exceeds with it, or it just is 1900 on its own and 21 with the field spell, or Nightmare Penguin on the field. So yeah, decent little card. Raikou, we run this just because random removal, and it gets rid of anything, not just spells and traps. So I run that over the MST. Like, I should probably maybe side any MSTs then, but I guess I like the Raikous instead. Blessing and dump waters into grave for Miracle Fusion. Stratos, it's Stratos. It's part of the Hero Engine. The Hero Engine is good enough to steal games on its own and make decks like this even somewhat competitive. So. And this is the heart and soul of it, so yeah, Stratos. 3 Alias, the best hero to go for if there's nothing else to go for, essentially. Just 1900 beater. And it's, yeah, that. Heat, because, really, we don't need, Ocean or anything as a 0 target. So we just run Heat. He's the next best beater hero. He's 1800 on his own. You can get to 2000 if you happen to have 2 heroes. Yeah, so onto the spells. 3 Legendary Ocean. This is what makes the deck work. You can normal summon the Great Emperor Penguin because you can go... because it reduces the level of all water monsters by 1. So you just normal summon and you go into whatever Exceed you want. Dark Hole. It's Dark Hole. People think it's not good right now, but I mean, it benefits this deck more than Heavy Storm does, at least. Actually, why don't I run Heavy Storm in this? Oh yeah, I run a field spell. That's why I don't run Heavy Storm. And I just run half my deck's back row. Yeah, Dark Hole just gets rid of problem cards. I don't really have that many outs to those, except for a bunch of monsters that return monsters to the hand. But yeah, you only live once, so yeah. Monster Born, it's that Reborn. Gemini Spark, we run the 1-tech Gemini Spark, mainly the Chain 2 removal that gets used on Alias, and it just nets pluses and it's good. 1 Rhoda and 2 E-Call, search the Stratos, get you moving, thin the deck, it's good. We run 3 Miracle Fusion, OP as hell, steals games. Again, like the rest of the Hero Engine, it can make decks like this, even semi-competitive, it's ridiculous. Duality, just search out combo pieces. You can side this out too, it's an easy card to side out. 2 Bottomless, one of the best traps in my opinion. People like Mirror Force and other stuff, but I like Bottomless still. It's a straight up answer. And then Compulse, this card's too good right now. I love formats when Compulse is good, and because it's one of my favorite cards, and yeah. So 2 Compulse, as if we don't run enough in the monsters. And then 2 Torrential, card is Torrential. Probably, I'd argue this is the best trap in the game. So yeah. Onto the side deck, I guess. 2 Droll and Lockbird. This deck side's pretty hard for the 2 meta decks or whatever. Prophecy and Dragons, so we got the Droll and Lockbird. 2 Veiler. Yeah. 3 Max C, because I like it. more than anything. You drop it, and it's just a deterrent against bad players, I guess. They're usually not gonna keep going because they don't really know what you're playing, obviously, and they'll just be scared of the max C. Plus, you get to draw a lot of cards, and I love cards that let me draw. For some reason, I've always had like a hard-on for those. One more Raikou if I need it. This could be an MST or something if you guys see fit. Yeah, that's that young Raikou. Heavy in case I need it. 2 Super Poly. This is good against pretty much everything, but I don't like it in the main deck, basically. Why? Because, like, I'm not trying to... Yeah, basically, I'll explain a little bit right now. Yugioh, this is... You only want to side it in if your opponent's playing Darks, because you literally can't make it unless you use an Exceed, I guess, from your graveyard with Miracle Fusion. Gaia, Tornado, and another Shining. Same logic on all of these. You can just Super Poly, and you side one of these, whatever appropriate ones in, depending upon what you're putting in. You put in Max Siege, you can put in Gaia, you put in Veilers, you can add another Shining, you put in Droll and Lockbirds, you add Great Tornado. Or, if your opponent's deck warrants it, with Super Poly, put them in. And then onto the main extra deck, I guess. 2 Elemental Hero, Absolute Zero. This card is amazing, card is OP as shit. Bring it out as many times as possible with Miracle Fusion. It's pretty much your main card you go for. Not only is it a 25 beater, as always, that wipes the field when it leaves, it is 27 under Legendary Ocean or Nightmare Penguin, and also anytime you control a water monster, this deck actually does benefit from the secondary effect quite a bit. He becomes 3,000 or 3,200 or whatever it happens to be, and just an even bigger beater, gets over pretty much every relevant card in the game. And then we have that young Nova Master. Again, you run the 2 heat, you can actually make it main deck, and it's a very good card. All of the Hero Fusions, except Yugioh or whatever, however to pronounce it, are actually very, very good cards, so that makes the Hero Engine that much better. 1 Shining, because, yeah, it's a good card, but, I mean, you're pretty much always going to be going for 0, and I side the 2nd Shining, so yeah. Slacker Magician, you go into this with 2 Penguin Soldiers under Legendary Ocean. It's the only card you can make with Penguin Soldiers, but it's pretty much the only good level 1 or rank 1 Exceed, and it's a very good card as well. Then the Penguin targets basically Leviair. It's just Leviair, you never know when you need it, I guess. And you run Miracle Fusion, it synergizes well. Leviathan, this thing's 27 under Legendary Ocean, so it's pretty damn good. Gets over a lot of things. 1 Black Ray Lancer. This card's a decent card. Like, it's definitely not a good card, but it's decent, and the deck can make it. So, like, why not let a card have some time to shine in a random deck like this? And also, it is an easy card to side out for any of the Hero Fusions. I do actually play this in matches on DN, so I somewhat know what I'm talking about as far as the side game. And it's actually, I haven't lost with this deck yet. It's stupid. Like, whenever I like make these random deck ideas, I end up trying them, and then if like the deck is doing well, I make the deck profile. It's just kind of funny to me how well a deck like this can do, because I like penguins and I get to play them, you know. Acid Golem, just like Leviathan, this is 32 under Legendary Ocean, so just beats over pretty much every card. Abyss Dweller is kind of like a side card in the main extra deck, which is great, so if you run into anything that it poops on, then you get to poop on it, and everyone likes pooping, right? Or at least everyone does it, I don't know. Gaga Cowboy, steals games, OP card. This card, it's not necessarily overpowered, but it's broken. This card breaks game mechanics. It should not have been printed, or even put on Dueling Network or whatever, you know, that's why. You get the picture. This card wins games that you shouldn't win with it, at least. It's dumb. You have to play it. And then Maestroke, just ass up. I don't run the boat in this deck. Maybe I should, just space is pretty tight. But yeah, Maestroke, hopefully you don't run into any Black Shield Corns. Then we run Excalibur, part of the Hero Toolbox, just beats over literally, not every card in the game. There's that one 4500, like rank 8 thing. I want to say every remotely relevant card, but yeah, it doesn't beat over that, so I would be lying. Then Blade Armor, just if you have an open field, it pokes for a little bit more than Excalibur, plus it can, I guess, act as a little bit of crowd control. Take out 2 monsters in a turn if absolutely necessary. And then MVP kind of the extra deck, a card that I make a lot in playing the deck, Comics Hero King Arthur. If you guys don't know this card, it's a new card out of Number Hunters. It's been on DN for a while, obviously, but it finally came out in Number Hunters. And if you can't read the effect, if this card would be destroyed by battle, you can detach one Xyz material from this card instead. When you do, it gains 500 attack. And if it does, inflict 500 damage to your opponent. So it just basically asses up. It is really good. They can't attack over it, and if they try, then it stays on the field, gains attack, potentially attacking over the next turn then, and also they take 500, so it's just very good. I've won every game where I've summoned it so far, I believe. So yeah, it's a penguin deck, just pretty trollsy, I guess. Like, it's always fun to summon a flying penguin and go in for game. I would actually be, just like I said, I like penguins quite a bit. So if you guys were, I'm trying to build the deck in real life potentially, I guess. And I have obviously like the most expensive card in this deck is probably Flying Penguin. Like, I guess I have all the other stuff, so it doesn't matter that like Cowboy is expensive and Abyss Dweller is a decent price. But yeah, so if I do own one Flying Penguin. It's, if you guys don't know, this card's only been printed in the McDonald's pack, the first one. So in like, I don't know, 2005 or 4 even maybe. So I do own the one, but if any of you guys would be willing to trade or possibly even donate to my noble cause a Flying Penguin to me, that would be amazing, and I would appreciate that. And if you guys are interested in like getting a shout out from me or whatever, I know that's not like a amazing reward or anything, but I would definitely appreciate it if someone would trade or give me one of these. Yeah, so thanks for watching, guys, and I would be interested in potentially tweaking the deck and building it in real life, doing like a real life deck profile if I do get the cards. So thanks for watching. If you like the deck idea, go ahead and thumbs up. Try it out. This deck is not that bad. I'd say it's better than the Dark Paladin OTK that has so many views. I don't know why, but yeah. Thanks for watching, guys, for like the third time, and peace.